This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 496, Why Bitcoin is Stupid, Part 1 by Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. And I'm Dan, your host. Happy Monday to all of you out there in podcast land. Welcome to Optimal Finance Daily, where I read to you from some of the best personal finance blogs anywhere. And today's post comes from Mr. Money Mustache. Now, if you have no idea what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are, you'll get a pretty good feel for it in this episode. On the other hand, if you put money into cryptocurrencies, try not to take the title of today's post too hard. It's probably more for the shock factor than anything, and it's always good to hear different perspectives on this kind of stuff. Don't forget that I'm not the one writing this article either, so if you want to yell at someone, you're welcome to visit this article right on MMM's site and add to the 500 or so comments that are already on it. Now, today's post is a bit longer than a typical one here, so I'll read the first half today and then finish it up for you tomorrow. With that, let's hear part 1 as we optimize your life. Why Bitcoin is Stupid, Part 1 by Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. Well, I've been watching this situation for a few years and assuming it would just blow over, so we wouldn't have to talk about it here in this place where we're supposed to be busy improving our lives. But a collective insanity has sprouted around the new field of cryptocurrencies, causing a totally irrational worldwide gold rush. It's reached the point where a big percentage of stories in the financial news and questions in Mr. Money Mustache's email inbox are about whether or not we should all invest in Bitcoin. Well, we'll start with the answer. No, you should not invest in Bitcoin. The reason is that it's not an investment. Just like gold, tulip bulbs, Beanie Babies, 1999 dot-coms without any hope of a product plan, pre-construction pricing Toronto condominiums you have no intent to occupy or rent out, and rare baseball cards are not investments. These are all things that people have bought in the past and driven to completely irrational prices, not because they did anything useful or produced any money and value to society, but solely because they thought they would be able to sell them to someone else for more in the future. When you make this kind of purchase, which you should never do, you are speculating, which is not a useful activity. You're playing a psychological win-lose battle against other humans with money as the only objective. Even if you win some money through dumb luck, you've lost some time and life energy, which means you have lost. Investing means buying an asset that actually creates products and services and cash flow for an extended period of time, like a piece of a profitable business or a rentable piece of real estate. An investment is something that has intrinsic value. That is, it would be worth owning from a financial perspective, even if you could never sell it. Now, with that moral sermon out of the way, we might as well talk about why Bitcoin has become such a big thing, so we can separate the usefulness of the underlying technology called blockchain from the mania about how people have turned Bitcoin into a big, dumb lottery. This separation is important because the usefulness of blockchain is the primary justification people use for the big, dumb Bitcoin lottery. Once you make this separation in your mind, you can see that blockchain is simply a nifty new software invention, which is open source and free for anyone to use, whereas Bitcoin is just one well-known way to use it. Blockchain is just a computer protocol, which allows two people or machines to do transactions even if they don't trust each other or the network between them. It can have applications in the monetary system, contracts, and even as a component in higher-level protocols like sharing files. But it's not some spectacular instant trillionaire piece of magic. As a real-world comparison, I quote this nifty piece from a reader named The Unassuming Banker. Quote, "Imagine that someone had found a cure for cancer and posted the step-by-step instructions on how to make it online, freely available for anyone to use. Now imagine that the same person also created a product called Cancer Pill, using their own instructions, trademarked it, and started selling it to the highest bidders. I think we can all agree a cure for cancer is immensely valuable to society. Blockchain may or may not be, we still have to see. However, how much is a cancer pill worth?" End quote. Our banker friend goes on to explain that the first cancer pill might initially see some great sales. Prices would rise, especially if the supply of these pills was limited, just as an artificial supply limit is built right into the Bitcoin algorithm. But since the formula is open and free, other companies would quickly come out with their own cancer pills. Cancer Away, Cancer Be Gone, Cancertherium, and any other number of competitors would spring up. Anybody can make a pill, and it costs only a few cents per dose. And yet imagine everybody started bidding up cancer pills to the point that they cost $17,000 each and fluctuate widely in price seemingly for no reason. Because of this, newspapers start reporting on prices daily, triggering so many tales of instant riches that you notice even your barber and your massage therapist are offering tips on how to invest in this new asset class. But instead of seeing how ridiculous this is, even more people start piling in and bidding up every new variety of pills, cryptocurrency, over and over and on until they are some of the most valuable things on the planet. No, right? And yet this is exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. And if you haven't been digging into the cryptocurrency world much, it gets way weirder than this. You can observe the preposterous herd behavior in real life by checking out the various cryptocurrencies ranked at coinmarketcap.com. Holy is the only reasonable reaction. You've got Bitcoin with a market value of $234 billion, then Ripple at $92 billion, with Ethereum right behind at $85,792,800,592. Now these are preposterous numbers. The imaginary value of these valueless bits of computer data represents enough money to change the course of the entire human race. For example, eliminating all poverty, or replacing the entire world's 800 gigawatts of coal power plants with solar generation. Why? Why? An aside. Why should we listen to you, Mustache? I'm only a mediocre computer scientist, but coincidentally, after I got my computer engineering degree, I ended up specializing in security and encryption technologies for most of my career. So I did learn a bit about locking and unlocking information, hacking, and ensuring that independent brains, whether they are two adjacent CPUs on a circuit board or two companies negotiating across the Pacific, can trust each other and coordinate their actions in lockstep. I even read about these things for fun, with Simon Singh's The Codebook and the Neil Stephenson novel Cryptonomicon being particularly fun shortcuts to pick up some of the workings and the context of cryptography. But that's just the software side, blockchain. Bitcoin, aka cancer pills, has become an investment bubble with the complementary forces of human herd behavior, greed, fear of missing out, and a lack of understanding of past financial bubbles amplifying it. Mustachianism, the mental training that gets you to very early financial freedom, requires you to evaluate inefficiencies in our culture and call bullshit upon them, even if you are the only one in the room willing to do it. In the field of personal wealth, this means walking your children past the idling lineup of your neighbor's Mercedes SUVs, over the snowy grass, and up to the door of the school, and being confident that you are doing the right thing, even if you're the only one doing it. When evaluating investment bubbles, it means looking at where everyone is throwing their money, no matter how many billions, and being willing to say, bullshit, guys, not going to do this with you. To be continued. You just listened to the post titled, Why Bitcoin is Stupid, by Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. And as I mentioned, this is part 1, and I'm going to finish up part 2 for you tomorrow. But before we go, don't forget that you can hear more of Mr. Money Mustache's posts being narrated to you for free on the Optimal Living Daily podcast. So if you're not already subscribed to our brother podcast, Optimal Living Daily, just search for it. Search for Optimal Living Daily, where you'll find it, and then you can subscribe for free. That'll do it for another Monday episode. Hope you all have a wonderful start to your week, and I will be back tomorrow to finish up this post. So I'll see you there, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.